Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lifestyle Lifter Show. This is my first ever in-person podcast, and today I'm joined by online fitness coach. He is a lover of Nutella, and even though he's from New Zealand, he has a physique that the All Blacks themselves will be scared of. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Joseph Rakich on the Lifestyle Lifter Show. Joseph, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. Looking forward to having a chat.
Absolutely. Joseph, the first question that I ask all my guests before we start is share something about yourself that most people do not know.
Most people do not know, probably the Nutella
Do you
thing.
want to tell that story
So
again?
I've never had Nutella in my life. It's not because my parents didn't let me when I was a kid. When I was a kid, all I ate was junk food, roll-ups, chips, lollies, chocolate my whole life. For some reason, we just never had Nutella at the house. I was, jam, peanut butter, everything else. Years went past, I never tried it. It got so long that like it was my claim to fame. So now that I've been this long without trying it, I don't want to try it
You
and
may as
then
well.
ruin that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I almost feel like I know, without tasting it, I feel like I actually know exactly what Nutella tastes like.
What do you
Maybe
think
I'm completely wrong, but
it tastes like? So,
I guess it's a nutty chocolate in a way.
yeah,
It's smooth.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I honestly, someone very much would try it just to be like, well, it's exactly
To prove this right, yeah.
but then I can't have that claim to fame.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to break the pledge there, right?
exactly.
So share about your backstory, Joseph. So I know, obviously, growing up in New Zealand, you dropped out of school
Yeah.
when you were 17, started working for your dad, and
Mhm.
obviously now you're a very successful online coach. So how did you get from New Zealand to where you are now at the moment?
Yeah. I guess at school, I never did too well. I wasn't the smartest person there was, and I didn't enjoy school. I enjoyed my friends at school. I enjoyed lunch times. I enjoyed just hanging around with mates and being stupid. But I never enjoyed learning at school, and I think it's because I just didn't find a passion for it. I failed school. The only subject that I did pass was PE, physical education, because I like to run outside. I like to kick a ball. Yeah, I've always been into sports. However, in saying that, I was always a skinny kid my whole entire life, skin and bones, no muscle. So, believe it or not, when we did have PE, physical education at school, when we had weights room, I would always lie and tell the teacher, oh, I forgot my gym clothes today because I was a skinny kid and I didn't like lifting weights. So it's weird how it turned out now. Weights is my passion and what I love, but didn't do too well at school, dropped out, failed, didn't know what I was going to do with my life, got into the party scene, hang out with mates, all that kind of stuff that everyone goes through. Was just pretty much lost. My dad gave me a job. He owned a company that was a food distributing company. So this was the worst job in my life. I was working in a negative 18 degrees freezer the entire day, like four jackets, a beanie, gloves, everything, and it was terrible. Like you couldn't think of anything worse. But I had no other job to go to. So I did that. After that, I became a delivery driver for my dad. So I started delivering the food to the restaurants and to the bakeries.
Yeah.
Again, still not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. My mum won a free gym trial. She didn't want it, she gave it to me. I went along to the gym, saw my mates there, started, I guess, hanging out at the gym.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about training, but would talk to mates and muck around here and there. Even though I didn't know anything about training and I was mucking around, I guess because I was new to the gym, it was a new stimulus to my body. So I did start to notice some progress. Once I noticed the progress, it sparked something in me. So I got more serious about my training, more serious about my diet. Um, and obviously, once I got more serious, I started Googling stuff. What is protein? What foods have protein? I started applying that knowledge to myself.
Yeah.
Once I started applying that knowledge to myself, I started transforming my physique, getting more muscle, understood dieting, understood bulking. So did a few transitions, went through a somewhat decent transformation, I think. Was putting these pictures up online, and people started asking me for help. From there, I started offering them help, and then it got to the point this was all prior to social media as well, so it was on the bodybuilding forums. So many people were contacting me for help and guidance with diet, so I started helping them. And I guess what started off as a hobby turned into a passion, and now turned into my career. And it's just kind of all worked its way out through being online, in the online space, posting up content, posting my client transformations, and just growing from there.
Yeah.
And here I am many years later.
Yeah. Tell me so. And tell me, Joseph, from when you started in the gym, how long did it take you to get through your own personal transformation?
So I guess, well, I signed up for 2 weeks. I had a free 2 week trial. I didn't obviously make any progress in that 2 weeks because I had no idea what I was doing, but I joined the gym just because it was a hangout place for me and my mates. Because it was a hangout place, I was there pretty much every day. And after, I guess, 2, 3, maybe 4 months, I started noticing small changes. Once you saw those small changes, that's when you got more serious about, wow, okay, my shoulders are looking good.
Yes.
What are some good shoulder exercises to do? So you start searching.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well, how do they grow? Like, what's a good diet? And just learn to do it myself. And
Yeah.
I guess because I was passionate and I enjoyed what I was doing, I learned because I wanted to know. Where at school, I wasn't passionate about maths or science. So for me to learn, it was a chore.
Yes.
I didn't go out of my way to, learn about photosynthesis or something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change my life. So.
Joseph, I was actually a former primary school teacher before.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. But with that now,
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said for just doing something you feel fulfilled at and actually genuine interest in.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to know, when you were starting your own transformation journey, did you like look up to any kind of bodybuilder or follow any particular influencers' advice or guidance?
Yeah, many along the years, and it's always changed. I guess originally starting out, I looked up to guys like Greg Plitt, because my goal's never has been to be like a huge, massive bodybuilder like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler. Even though I admire and respect those physiques 100%, and even if I tried, I know I couldn't get there. So, but I've always looked at guys like Arnold, Serge Dubray, Frank Zane, these old school, classic looking bodybuilders that were, I guess, not freakish, but they just looked muscular and good at the same time. I think one of my main idols for the majority of the early years, before I really knew much people, was Greg Blair.
Awesome. Yeah. And since then, Joseph, you've obviously, I mean, first of all, you've coached over 170,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say? What advice would you give to anyone on their own personal transformation journey at the moment, that they want to improve their health, they want to improve their fitness, they want to get leaner, but maybe they're just not seeing the changes that they're hoping to see?
Yep. So most people don't get results is because they don't adhere to the diet and they don't adhere to the training program. That's usually the hardest thing. They do it for 2 weeks and they're not seeing any amazing results, so they give up or they break the diet on Saturday, which throws out that week. And it's just a vicious cycle. And because they do that, they don't see any results. And if you don't see results, it's hard to stay on track with something because you're not getting any reward with that. So I think the best and the most important thing is to understand that you have to trust the journey and trust the process. Lock in to a specific time frame, however long it is, whether it be 8 weeks you can commit to, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 20 weeks, whatever it is. If you can lock into a time frame 100% and just say you're going to commit 100%, you're going to follow this diet, you're going to follow this workout program, you're going to do this much cardio and not break that, that's a good starting point. No, it doesn't have to be 20 weeks. If 6 weeks is all you can commit to, that you know you can just lock in 100%, do it for 6 weeks. If you do that, you'll see amazing results. Once you've seen amazing results, what are you going to do? You're going to continue doing what you're doing because you're getting that reward. Now, if you don't see results and you're not satisfied with your progress over the last month, that just means something needs to change. So, for example, if you're trying to lose weight and you're not losing weight, it comes down to two things. One, consume less calories, or two, burn more calories through exercise or being more active, or both.
Combination of both.
Combination of both.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what it comes down to. And like a lot of people say, oh, I'm in a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight. And I'm like, well, technically you're not in a calorie deficit then. So what a lot of people think is a calorie deficit and it doesn't work, so they get like discouraged, but maybe they're tracking wrong, maybe their body doesn't burn through as much calories as they thought. Could be many reasons. But regardless, if you're not losing weight and weight loss is your goal, you have to change something. Either decrease your calories or increase your energy expenditure. Now, it's much easier to decrease your calories if you're on structured meal plan. Yeah. So it's the same thing. So an adjustment, even if you don't know what the calories are, you can pull something out. And I think that's the most important thing, just locking into a goal, committing 100% to that time frame. Once you've seen results, you'll be motivated tenfold to go even harder. If you don't see results, don't give up, don't break it because you're committed to your goal. Instead, change something.
So awesome. And so you've coached over 170,000 people with Joseph. And what is your process for getting results? I know you're a big proponent for your clients amongst the keto diet, for instance.
Yep.
So like, can you just talk me through a bit more about that?
Yep. So I coach anyone and everyone, no matter what their goals are, male or female. If they want to bulk up, put on weight, if they want to cut down, lose weight, get lean, get shredded, whatever their goal is. Now, I'm a big believer in the best diet that you can do is a diet that you love the most and that you can adhere to the best. Awesome. Regardless of what that is. I push keto and I push non-keto, and I'm open to whatever the client wants to do. Why do I push keto so much though? It's because keto, believe it or not, has a better adherence rate than people doing non-keto. Now, I know a lot of people won't believe this, but I've had over 170,000 clients. I've got a lot of information and I've got a lot of data, and my marketing guys look at this. So keto has a better adherence rate. And I know the reason why. It's because sometimes we need strict rules to adhere to something. If we don't have strict rules, we can't adhere to it. So this is why keto is the best diet for the majority of people wanting to lose weight if they enjoy eating keto. One, it sets some rules and sets some boundaries. No carbs. Someone starts a diet and it has carbs, it's so much easier come the weekend, your friends come over, you're watching a movie, they've got chips on the table, you grab those chips. Sure. They order pizza, you end up getting pizza with them. It's easy to break a diet when there is carbs in there. Now, I'm not saying you can't lose weight on carbs. If you're strict and you stick to it, you will. But for the general public, adherence rates are hard. Now, if they're on keto and they go out to a restaurant with their friends get burgers and fries, the person on keto will be like, oh, I'll have steak and vegetables and butter. Because when they get offered this or this, they'll be like, oh no, I can't have that because it's going to kick me out of their ketosis state. So they actually adhere to the diet better. Better adherence gets better results. Also, because when you're on keto, you're consuming no carbohydrates, and with no carbohydrates, there's low levels of insulin. Therefore, the kidneys flush out a lot of salt and a lot of sodium, so you lose a lot of weight. So sometimes in the first week, people lose 3, 4, 5 kgs. Now, if you're quite overweight and you lose 5 kgs in the first week, yes, it is water, but you're blown away. You're like, oh my God, I've lost 5 kgs. This diet is amazing. I'm going to stick to this.
It is fine, yeah.
Now, if you don't get that amazing 3, 4, 5 kg loss in the first week because you've got carbs and you don't get all that water weight loss, it's not as motivating. You're not as rewarded. So it's easier to say, oh, fuck it, I'll have this, you know? So it's almost like keto draws a line in the sand, and it just makes your rules, I guess,
easier to follow.
Yeah. And you need rules sometimes to commit to something.
Absolutely.
And because they get amazing results, they adhere to the diet. And I also believe you just feel, well, one, you feel amazing. I'm really big on keto and I'm really big on high carb. Low carb, we chat about this in the gym.
Yeah.
Low carb, I feel terrible and I feel like a zombie. I've dieted on all different diets. When I'm low carb, for example, 100, 150, 200 grams of carbs a day, I feel lethargic, I feel tired, I feel no energy, and I just feel like almost half eaten. High carb, I feel good because there's so much carbs, so much glycogen. Keto, the complete opposite. Zero carbs, but you've got a lot of fat. The fat is very satiating, so it keeps you full. You're not hungry, you have no cravings. And running off fat and ketones is a very clean source of energy that burns slow. So you just feel good and you feel calm. With carbs, you're like extremely
I
hungry.
feel mentally as well.
Yeah,
Sometimes you feel more
mentally
alert.
clear.
Yeah,
So on a low carb diet, when you
yeah.
still have carbs, you've got brain fog.
Yes.
You can't think when you're dieting hard. But on keto, you feel so clear in the mind, so switched on. Also, when dieting, if my carbs are low, it's hard for me to do 4 meals a day. I'm just, no matter how much, my hunger is just extreme.
Sure.
But if I'm on keto, I could do 3 meals a day. Because that high fat, comparing calories to same equal, it's because that same fat, instead of carbs, it just keeps me satiated and full. So it makes dieting easy.
Yeah.
So that's also another reason why people stick to keto better, because when you're on a low carb diet, hungry, annoyed easy, and just when you get to a certain point of hunger, you're just like, oh, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm eating this. But keto, I've got something, oh, I can't finish my meals. You know?
And when you play between high carb and keto, when you go on keto, what are some of the what's your biggest challenge? What are some of the foods that you miss the most that you gotta
Yeah.
remove, I guess?
It's only the first kind of week that is hard
Yeah,
because I love fruit.
yeah,
I love fruit so much. And on a high carb diet, I can love my carbs from fruit. Pineapple, mango, frozen berries in my oats and everything. So I love fruit. The first week is challenging.
yeah.
So I just miss that sweet thing. I'm almost gonna have like a sugar-free energy drink to get that sweet thing. But after a week, once I'm fully keto adapted, I don't even think about fruit. It doesn't even interest me. It's just I feel satiated with what I eat. So there's no craving for it. You don't need that juiciness anymore. It's gone. So once you get over that week,
Yeah,
it's a walk in the park.
yeah. Tell me this though, Joseph. So 100, 200 grams of carbs, that's low carb for you.
For me, yeah.
For you.
But some people that's quite,
Yeah.
quite decent, yeah.
So what would a high carb day look like for you then?
Oh, well, my high carb 450 is on the low side. But around 600 grams. Like not just one day, like day after day, day after day. Um, so yeah, the way I look at it is I have to honor either carbohydrates as the king or honor fat as the king. I can't do the
You can't do
no. So
in protein concepts and I assume.
yeah, my protein is always way too high.
Yeah.
I know you only need 1 gram of protein per pound of your lean body weight for optimal results, and any more than that is not really going to benefit you, and it's probably going to get converted into glucose. Gluconeogenesis. So on keto, I really try and keep it low, but on a high carb diet, just because my calories are so high, I'm getting so much trace protein from like oats and
It's so be surprised. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like 10 grams of protein.
yeah. And then 140 grams of oats.
Yeah.
Like it's a meal, and then 2 scoops of protein. It's got like 4 grams of carbs. Like it just adds up. So for me to keep my protein low, I would almost have to have like 80 grams of chicken
Sure.
per meal,
Yeah.
which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have like 200 to 250. So by default, my protein is too high.
Yeah.
I know that, but I just try to get it lower.
And what are some of the biggest misconceptions then that people have following keto?
I think people that try keto and feel shit, they do it wrong. And what they do is they know, okay, keto's no carbs. So they just remove all the carbs.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to feel terrible because you're just eating like chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
So you don't have that fat in your diet, you're not running off fat.
Sure.
You're basically running off carbs still because the body gets that protein, converts it into glucose,
Yes.
gluconeogenesis. And you're running on a extremely terrible diet with no fuel source. So of course you're going to feel weak, tired, and like a zombie.
Yeah.
if you do keto, you have to not be afraid of fat. Like I'm putting like 40 grams of butter on my salmon, like to get the fat in there. Like people would lose their minds. But I'm letting carbs, so I've got to get my calories in somewhere.
And gotta get your fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I eat so much butter when I'm on keto, and it's super satiating, very high in vitamin A. It's
Very good Irish butter.
yeah. It's so good, and like if I wasn't doing it, yeah, I'll be feeling terrible.
Sure.
Because it's not technically keto.
Yeah.
When people do keto, you have to put fat in your diet, or you have to consume fatty meat, and you have to make sure you're getting your fat in. You can't just remove carbs and call that keto.
And just a follow-up question on that. So, off your macronutrient split, protein, carbohydrates, fats, what would roughly the typical breakdown be?
Yeah.
Following a keto plan.
So I don't get too caught up in like percentages or exact amounts because it makes it too hard for the client. It makes it too complicated. Sure, I've got guidelines. For example, my protein, I say should be around 1 gram. If they're not on keto, I say at least 0.4 grams of fat per pound of lean body weight if they're not on keto. But if someone is on keto, the main goal that I have for them is to be in ketosis. So zero carbs from actual carbs. You're only getting carbs from trace carbs. So
such as
vegetables, maybe carbs and avocado. But if you can, let's just say you've got 50 grams of carbs per day.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can have 40 grams of carbs from oats. It means no carbs, except for the trace carbs that are in vegetables or, I don't know, maybe you have some coconut yogurt that's got trace carbs in there. That's fine. That's fine. Trace carbs are okay. Just no direct source of carbs. And then you want to keep your protein moderate high, not too high, because otherwise you kick yourself out of ketosis. Yeah. So when I'm on keto, I can't do 6 meals a day because if I do, my protein will just be way too high. But the good thing, keto runs my appetite, so I can get away with 4 meals and 3 meals.
Yeah.
And that's the only way for me to keep my protein down.
What about though? I'm curious. What about like starchy vegetables, like peas, sweet corn? Would they technically not be ideal in a keto plan because they tend to contain more carbs?
Not ideal, but again, stuff like potatoes, I wouldn't obviously. But peas here and there, it's like I'm not too concerned about that as long as you're not eating that and not going absolutely crazy or a whole bunch of corn, but like a little bit here and there is fine. If when someone signs up for Jared, we've got like the recommended vegetables, the ones that are okay and the ones that are not so good.
Red, green, and orange.
Yeah. And if a vegetable's not so good, doesn't mean you can't have it. Just don't have like 400 grams per meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know who's the keto diet for, and who would you say the keto diet wouldn't be ideal for?
I think the keto diet can be for anyone. You have to try it yourself, see if you like it, see if you feel good on it, and if you like keto foods. If you don't like eating bacon and eggs and fatty meats, then I wouldn't recommend keto.
Sure.
Now, keto is really good for the person that wants to lose a lot of weight, like let's say 10 kgs plus. I think keto is probably superior for them because of all the amazing benefits it has. They feel good, they lose a lot of weight instantly. It's good for people that do long distance sports like running.
Yes, endurance.
Now, if there was a sport that I would say keto is not ideal for, it's probably going to be bodybuilding, just because glycogen does help.
Yeah.
For your explosive workouts and your workout. But even if you are a bodybuilder, I'll say give keto a go. See how you feel. I'm not sure if I class myself as a bodybuilder. Maybe. I've done keto. I've trained hard.
Got pretty decent results to back it up.
Yeah, I've loved and I've enjoyed my training on keto, and I think it comes out of personal preference. Yeah.
And so speaking of training, then the fact that when you are following keto, you're cutting out your carbs. Has your training ever suffered as a result of that?
My training has never suffered once.
Yeah.
My training only suffers on a low carb diet.
Sure.
But like one time I randomly did it when I was in Canada. I did keto the whole time I was in Canada. I was there for about 4 weeks. I was on keto prior and after as well. And when I was on keto in Canada, it's like when I was really deep in keto, I just started prior to going to Canada, and I was having the best workouts ever. And I don't know why, but I put it down to this. When I was on keto, I have less meals, like 4 meals a day, where I'm on a high carb diet of like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
When I was on a high carb diet, having 6 or 7, I'm always got like 2 meals in me before I train. And one meal is like 40 minutes before I go and train. So when I'm in the gym training, there's so much blood in my digestive system, digesting that food down, breaking it down, so I can't get that blood in muscle. But when I'm on 4 meals a day, and let's just say I have my first meal at 6, and I don't train until 3 hours, 4 hours later, all that food's almost digested. So when I am in the gym, all the blood's going to my muscles.
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe why I had better workouts. It wasn't good with the carbs or the fats. It was to do with my body's not trying to digest any food when I'm training.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I just put it down to that.
Awesome. Awesome. And so what's your current training look like at the moment? Are you following like a particular split, or how do you work it?
Yeah, so with training and with diving, I'm a big believer in variety. Always changing things up,
Yeah.
always mixing things up. Different exercises, different rep ranges, more volume, less volume, more frequency, less frequency. I do everything. Sometimes I'll train everything once per week. Sometimes I'll train everything 3 times per week. But I'll kind of do it in training blocks. Like I do 2 months training everything once a week, and then I do 1 month or 2 months training everything twice or 3 times per week. Right now, I'm just on a traditional bro split. Every main muscle group once a week.
Yeah.
I've got an order, but sometimes it gets mixed around depending on who I'm training with. Like I normally do legs on Wednesday, but I did legs today just because
10 by 10.
10 by 10. Yeah.
I don't envy it.
And also my workouts at the moment they don't have 100% structure. So
Yeah.
okay, I know I'm training legs today. I went in and I trained legs. I had no idea what I was doing until I was doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a way I like to train because I'm training with all different people.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do this, do this, do this. And at the gym that we go to, Binos, there's like 100 different exercises for chest.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do bench press and dumbbell flies for 4 weeks to get that progressive upload, even though that's what you want. But I like to just mix it up.
Yeah.
All I know is, okay, I'm doing chest today, or okay, I'm doing arms today. And then it's just whatever. The weight is whatever, the reps are whatever. It's just as long as I can empty the tank and give it 100% and keep the intensity high, that's it.
Do you know what? I think that helps my appearance. I don't know if you find it. Sometimes it's having that bit of variety where
Yeah.
you know what you're going to train, but
Yeah.
you haven't fully selected the exercises.
Exactly. Yeah. I believe
I
that as
know it
well.
goes against
Yeah.
the overload principle
Yeah.
that we usually preach sometimes. Adherence comes before
Yes.
progressive overload.
Yeah. The only thing I need to know is what muscle group I'm training the day before.
Yeah.
Like I can't turn up to the gym thinking I'm doing shoulders and then my mate says legs.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, no, I can't. I need to know what's doing that.
You need to mention.
Yeah. But as long as I know what muscle group it is, then it's just whatever.
And what are some of your favorite exercises just for, I know there's so many for upper body and for lower body. If you had to pick maybe 2 or 3 of each.
For chest, like I've never been a fan of bench press. I just feel like one huge injury risk.
Yeah.
With bench, like everyone that's torn their pec, they've done on bench press. Also, when you're in the bench press, you're just pushing forward.
Yeah.
So I like a chest press, like isolated press. We push forward, but it's also in.
Cross it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like cross body.
Crossover.
Because one, you're in a machine, so I feel like everything's safe. You can push harder without being afraid of a pick here. And you're pushing forward, but in, so the contraction is a lot better. So that's what I like to do for my chest. Back, again, I probably mix it up quite a bit, but I'm more of a pull down guy than a row. So I like my pull downs, my single arm pull downs. Arms, I always mix it up, but I'll try and base it around something heavy and then something where I can get a good contraction and high rep. So maybe I might do some barbell curls where I do my 6 reps. But
6 reps, yeah.
the majority of the workouts is 15, 20 reps of biceps, just getting that squeeze, that contraction, pumping that blood in there. Yep. But again, varieties.
How many sets, how many working sets per week, roughly, per muscle group would you do?
Yep. It always changes, but on average, I would say I do about 5 exercises per muscle group.
Yeah,
The sets would be anywhere from 3 to 5.
sure.
Usually starting at 5 for the first 3 exercises.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so it's like
15 to 20.
yeah,
15 to
like
20.
five sets, 4 sets, 3 sets.
Sure.
So whatever that equal, I failed at maths. So and yeah, rep range again always different.
Yeah.
And depends on training with. Like I've trained with guys that are super high volume, drop sets after every exercise, lots of sets, lots of volume. Then I'm training other guys who are also, massive, got so much muscle on their frame, and they train very different.
Yeah.
Only 2 working sets, but these 2 working sets,
During the 8 sets, kind of, yeah.
it's heavy,
Yeah.
and it's you're emptying the tank, and you're leaving nothing. And there's force reps. And sometimes when you do 5 sets, it's like you half after the first 3.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I trained with, I'm not sure you know Darren from the gym. Maybe you don't.
No.
He's one of the big guys there. So I trained with him, and we did 2 sets. It was very weird for me, We did like 1 warm-up set field. It was like super warm.
Yeah.
And there was 2 working sets. The working sets were like heavy, like you're working.
Yeah.
And it's pushing and it's force reps. But I guess at the end of the day, what you're trying to achieve is progressive overload.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I waste my life with too much volume.
Well, the research shows anywhere from 3 to 30.
Yeah.
You can build muscle. So, there's actually no harm adding that variety, as you say. Yeah.
And I think you're right. And hey, even looking at all the studies, there's so much studies out there, and a lot of studies say that.
Starting to back up everything. To be fair. Whatever
you're looking for, you can get
inside
for that. Yeah. But like a lot of studies say that better to train your muscles more frequently, like 2 or 3 times, you get better gains. But if you look at all the biggest bodybuilders in the world, they train once a week for the chest, once a week for back, once a week for legs.
Yeah.
So it's but again, I do everything.
Yeah.
But majority of the time I'm a bro.
Yeah. What are some of the most frequently asked questions you get around your training? So,
if it's someone that doesn't go to the gym, never been to the gym in their life, what do you bench?
I don't think.
I don't think. If it's someone that's into the gym and actually working out themselves, they almost don't ask about training. It's almost more about the diet. They usually come up with a problem that they're having, like, or maybe it is about the training. They're lacking a certain muscle group. What should they do? So lacking a certain muscle group is one that I get quite often.
Yeah. But
usually the most common would be diet.
What would you say that actual diet to training split would be? In terms of, okay, you want unbelievable results, what percentage roughly do you think will come from your training versus your diet? I know it's kind of it's a hard one to,
and both should be 100%. But honestly, there's probably most people listening probably won't agree with this, but I'm probably going to say 90% diet. 90. Like I've got clients. It depends who you are.
Yeah.
I've got clients that just do diet only without working out. They lose like 10, 15, 20 kgs and they look amazing. No working out. Yeah. Someone who's already lean and wants to put on a bit of muscle and look good, then it's probably like 60-40.
Sure, yeah.
So you're trying to get
your body composition.
Yeah, body composition. But for most of my clients are more on the overweight side. So for them, diet is the important thing. Yeah. Training kind of comes a little bit later, and it's just kind of for the calorie burn. But those guys who are in, I guess, okay shape, but they want to go through a bit of a transformation.
Go from like a 5 to an 8, say, or 5 to a 9,
then it could be 50-50.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you put cardio now in this? So does cardio have a role to play? Is it essential? Do you need to do it to lean out?
No, you don't need to do cardio at all. You can get lean from just training and diet. Yeah. You can get lean from just diet. Because it's all about calories in versus calories out. And, you know, just sitting on the couch, we burn calories. Walking around, we burn calories. Talking to someone, we burn calories. Moving our hands, we burn calories. We don't need cardio at all. But cardio is the best tool to burn calories. So it makes sense to do cardio, and it makes sense to have cardio in your plan. So is cardio needed? No. Is cardio one of the best things to do to help you get lean and achieve your goals? Yes.
Yeah.
So anyone trying to lose weight and get lean should have cardio in their plan, in their program. Now, I think a lot of people make the mistake of dropping calories too high and starting off with 60 minutes of cardio per day. And when fat loss stalls, they've got nowhere to move.
Like, how do you do more? Do you take away more? You
So-
cut as you go.
I'm always under the impression you want to do the least amount
Interesting.
that still allows you to get
Yeah.
results.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's just say I went on a serious bulk and I got quite big and I got up to 15% body fat. If I was on a diet for a show, I would keep training the same, super intense. Let's just say I trained an hour.
Yeah.
I would only drop calories, nothing else, and I'd lose weight. After 2 weeks, I would then drop calories more. After 2 weeks, I would then add in cardio. Maybe let's just say I'm doing 10 minutes a day. When fat loss stalls, I'll bump it up to 20 minutes a day. When fat loss stalls, I'll drop calories. When fat loss stalls, I'll go 30 minutes cardio a day. When fat loss stalls, instead of training for an hour, I'll train for an hour and 20 minutes every day. When fat loss stalls, or every 2 weeks, whatever it is, more cardio. So you're constantly starting, let's just say you started on 3,500 calories, 3, 3, 1, 2, 8. You just keep bringing calories down. And at the same time, you keep bringing cardio up. And at the same time, increase the intensity and the duration of your workouts.
But
And I
not
think
to,
the slowest way is the best way.
yeah, not to max out from the start because
No, you don't know when to move. But I know people that listen 1,000 calories per day and they do an hour and a half cardio per day and they stop losing because their body is almost like
their body adjusts. The body adjusts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets used. Is there anything you've changed your mind over in the past 5 to 10 years in relation to your training?
I guess a lot from the early days. Like I guess in the early days you're just so like lost with stuff. Like high reps, toning, you want to cut and heavy weights bulk, like there's like lots and sugar's bad, so I didn't even eat grapes. Now I'm like, I eat like 500 grams. So there's a lot of things that just I guess change over time. I was even afraid of fat at one point, so I thought fat makes you fat.
Fat makes you fat.
Yeah, like obviously it makes sense, right? But now I've done like 7 grams every day on keto. So it's just
Eggs high in cholesterol, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
and it's so crazy because I actually have a picture of my phone. If you look at these news articles, there's a picture of my phone. I think it's from like Daily Mail or maybe not Daily Mail. Some news outlet anyway. They had one article, this is the same year, saying, eggs, increase cholesterol or whatever it was. And then the other article, which is posted another time, saying an egg a day can help. It was like completely contrary. So with all this information, of course, people are going to get confused.
Yeah.
And if you type into Google, like Google gives you answers for everything, right? You want to learn how to do something, you go to Google. The answers are there. But if you go to Google for weight loss, how to lose weight, it'll tell you crazy stuff. Drink this green herbal tea that has blah blah blah. So of course people are going to be confused, but you need to find anything else. Google works. But to lose weight, it's just yeah.
It's yeah.
It's
It's
crazy.
like it's not necessarily the eggs, it's what people have them. It's like steak is bad for you, but the story doesn't show that you're having steak with fried chips, with all the
With
grease,
ice cream,
yeah,
they drink 10 beers a weekend.
yeah.
Like so the studies like steak eaters versus non-steak eaters. The one that doesn't eat steak probably doesn't drink 10 beers. Yeah, doesn't do all these drugs.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't binge on pizza and ice cream and large Coke. Exactly. But the guy that eats steak probably eats a lot of other shit. So you've got to take it like, it's studies can sometimes not mean what they mean.
Sure. Yeah. just towards towards the end of the show now, Joe. So I'm curious. Seem to have a lot of self-belief.
Hmm.
And even though you dropped out of school at 17, you didn't just follow the norm and just say you're going to be a failure. For someone who is lacking in belief, whether it is in their fitness,
Yep.
whether it's in their business, in their personal life, what are some tips that you would give to him or her to just build that self-confidence and that belief in yourself?
Yep. I think you just have to understand that you can achieve what the mind believes. If you believe you can do something, like you 100% believe you can do something and achieve something, and you keep at it, you will achieve it. If you don't believe it, then you're 100% correct as well. So just having that mindset shift and putting that confidence in yourself and just knowing that if you try, you can achieve it, then I think that's the best thing to get you taking action on trying to achieve that. So most people have these goals, probably not goals, probably ideas, but they don't even try and attempt it. It's because they think, oh, yeah, I can't do that. But you probably can. Like, it's most people, they don't take it serious enough almost. They just um, like there's a Tony Robbins quote, I can't remember what it was. It's you will only achieve something when your should do's become your must do's.
Awesome.
Like, oh, I'm trying to lose 10 kgs. Yeah, I should go to the gym. Oh, I should do the cardio. Once your should do's become your must do's, I'm trying to lose 10 kgs. Oh, I must go to the gym today. I must do my cardio today.
You have a strong reason.
Yeah, once your must do's take over your should do's, you achieve what you want to achieve. And yeah, I think it all comes down to self belief, believing that you can do it.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you build your belief in yourself?
I don't know, I've just always believed in myself. And I know we're capable of so much more. Like, okay, can I go and walk 10 kilometers in the Dubai heat? No, I can't. But could I walk 10 kilometers if my family's life depended on it? I'll do 20. You know, like you can do it if you have to do it. So, like if you ask me to walk 10 Ks now, I'm like, no. Yeah. But you know, if I had to walk 10 Ks, 10 Ks to save my life and my family's life or student's life, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. So it's not about can you do it or can you not do it. It's just people kind of put it in the too hard basket, so they can't do it. But you can do hard if you want it bad enough. I guess you have to figure out what your why is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're trying to lose weight, why do you want to lose weight? What is the reason? How will it make you feel? And if that reason is powerful enough to make you take action, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you've built a huge following, Joseph, obviously as a result. You've been blasting out content for years and years,
Yeah.
sharing all your best bits with for free for anyone
Yeah.
who follows you on Instagram. How have you built up such an empire?
One, I think I love
Yeah.
creating content,
Really
posting
like
content,
that.
and I think people find it hard to grow social media because they don't provide value. They just post up and they just post up. But if you post and you try and provide as much value as you can in any way, whether it be knowledge, whether it be entertainment, whether it be whatever, people are going to get that value. They're going to feel like they got something from you.
Right.
They're going to follow you. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to share, and you're going to grow organically like that. So I think anyone that struggles growing their social media, take a step back and just focus on providing as much value as possible. If you're a fitness person in the fitness industry, just think, who do you follow and what would you want to see on their pages? Okay, you follow Chris Bumstead. What do you want him to see him post? You want to see him post what he eats in the morning. Okay, maybe you post that to your followers. Oh, you want to see what his leg day is like. Okay, maybe you post that to your followers. So you got to try and put yourself in the shoes of the people watching you. Gotcha. And say, what do they actually want to see?
Yeah. Okay, we're coming towards the end of the show. Joseph, just final five rapid fire questions I always like to end with. So, first of all, what is one new habit you've implemented in the last 6 to 12 months?
One habit that I've implemented.
One new habit. If any.
Yeah. Not even something class. One habit that I've Oh yeah, getting things done ASAP, out putting them on my to-do list. I was really bad at procrastinating. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to text this person, write a note, text this person.
Mm,
But now, instead of just putting a note, text this person, I'm like,
use
text this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really bad at that.
Interesting.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Making notes to do things
Mm,
when these things could have been just done like that.
sure.
Um, so now I don't put notes for like simple things.
You don't do it.
I just do it.
Yeah.
So I've changed that habit, and that's been a game changer.
Yeah.
I don't know why I used to procrastinate.
Yeah. Anxiety maybe or just
Like random stuff. Um, like I got these singlets. They're from New Zealand. They just I got white, I got black, I got grey. They're super good. Um, yesterday I texted my wife, who's back in New Zealand, hey, can you buy me some more of these singlets and bring them over? I went to my notes to write the note. Text Mimi to
It sounds like it was taking the action straight in the right direction.
action.
Yeah, it's gotcha.
It's a hard habit that I've not been able to break, but now there's just
Just
so I said I got the phone. I said, "Hey, babe, you know those black, white, and grey singlets? I have. Can you please bring some over to Dubai and extra large?" Like, nah, no notes. Didn't have to do it at a later date.
yeah.
Procrastination killed
What's
us.
doing? Oh,
That was a short quiet. I took
no,
10 minutes on
that's
that.
it. Okay. When you hear the word successful, who's the first person you think of?
Good question. I would say Elon Musk because when most people talk about successful, in my opinion, in his money, most people try and spin it and like put it to other things, but I call that happiness.
Yeah.
They say, oh, it's more of the family and happy. And I'm like, yeah, but I think successful, if you're talking about at a face level, is kind of talking about everyone knows what it's about. They're just trying to change the narrative of it. Um, and I guess they kind of switch it out for the word happiness and fulfilled.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking about the word success, like just success, to me, that's how well you've done in life and what you've achieved in a business sense.
Yeah.
So first person that comes to mind is kind of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Mm,
The goat.
yeah, yeah.
If you go back in time to when you started, what is one piece of advice you give to your younger self?
Um, yeah, I guess believe in myself, which I guess you don't at the start because you haven't seen yourself prove to yourself that you can do X, Y, Z. But if you just believe in yourself before even doing anything, you will get stuff done at a faster rate. Also, I would tell my younger self, take action faster. Like I've had many ideas and I've thought about it and I've dabbled on it and I haven't taken action and I've fluffed around. Um, I think speed is super important.
Yeah.
So if there's something I want to do, take action, execute, and do it with speed.
Awesome. What do you feel is one of the most underrated gym exercises, Joseph, that most people do not do? Curious to hear this one.
Hmm, most underrated. Maybe squats because there's a lot of people that don't do them, but then again, there's a lot of people that do them. So that's a hard one. Maybe squats.
Like a barbell back squat or a hack squat or
Barbell back squat.
yeah.
Um,
Would you say that's one of the most difficult as well?
it is,
Is that
yeah.
probably why people don't do them?
I think so.
Yeah.
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 People put in the too hard basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say squats.
Yeah.
I'll look in squats.
Second last one. What's something you were looking forward to or excited about?
Um, just personal growth through life. Having a family eventually with my wife. We're married. We
Yeah.
plan to have kids this year.
Awesome.
There's a
Amazing.
lot of travel plans, and then I just want to grow and expand all my businesses.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've helped 170,000 people worldwide. It's actually probably 180,000 now. But the goal is to help 1 million people, and I know that's possible, and I know I'll get there. I just have to keep grinding and keep working towards it.
Good question. Awesome. And last one, Joseph. What's one question you wish people asked you more?
What's one question I wish people asked me more? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. What's I honestly don't know. Okay, what's one question I wish people asked me more?
I assume the obvious ones are like, what do you train? What do you eat? But is there any kind of question that people are like, you know what, I wish
Yeah,
people
those
actually,
are the most common.
yeah, they're not what I wish they asked me.
Um, I honestly don't know. Maybe how's my day?
How's your days in it? Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
What about the question for you? I want to reverse that one back on yourself.
What keeps you going, I guess?
What
Like,
keeps you going? Yeah, that's yeah. That's a good answer. I
I
like
think
that.
it is what you spoke about, is that
Mm,
like just being the best, being
yeah,
as good as you can possibly be.
yeah,
Self-actualization, just fulfillment.
yeah. I like it. I like it. I'll copy that.
That's awesome, man. This has been amazing. Though. Thank you so much for hopping on. Though, pleasure to meet you in person. Been following you online as well since I listened to Charlie Johnson's podcast. Just for any for listeners out there, Joseph, what are 1 to 3 takeaways that you would like them to implement after hearing you speak
In regards to fitness,
in regards to fitness, life, just in general?
yeah. Number one, believe in yourself 100%. Number two, take action. Always the hardest thing about anything is starting.
Yeah,
Whether it's a diet, whether it's a business, whatever. The hardest thing is starting. Once you've started, you've taken it one step, it's easier from there. And the third and final thing would be whatever it is you do in life, whether it be diet, training, business, be consistent. Consistency is always probably the most important factor that gets anyone to achieve results. And I'll chip in the fourth one. Enjoy what you do, love what you do, and be happy.
amazing, unreal. Joseph, for all of our listeners out there who want to learn a bit more about you, what you offer, where is the best place to send them?
Yep, I'm everywhere online. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, um, you name it, I'm there. Twitter. So just search my name, Josef Rakich, Josef RH.
Joseph,
Joseph
without a
with
PH.
everyone gets but yeah, on any platform, I will come up.
Awesome, awesome. Joseph, thank you so much. This has been absolutely amazing. I really appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Great chat.